We're going to talk now to someone who really knows about safe drive systems. This is something that when first found out about this company, I was so thrilled because I'm one of the fortunate ones that my car has this kind of system, and I wouldn't know what to do without it. So when I got a chance to call and speak with Rona Aharonsen, who's the CEO of Safe Drive Systems, I really jumped at it. She's calling in from New York, and welcome to our show, Rona.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, it's a very exciting product that you have, and this is, even though we target to the baby boomers and the seniors, I think this is good for anyone that drives a car.
I absolutely agree. It works well for the baby boomers. It works well for new drivers. It works really well with seasoned drivers as well, because sometimes we have the perception that we're such great drivers and we forget to pay attention to certain things on the road.
Right, and the thing with me, though, is when I'm coming now into parking, a lot of times, you're too close to the car next to you when you're parking, and some of these parking garages are very tight, and it always helps me so that I don't, get too close. And I just can't imagine how, especially here in South Florida, we have a lot of older drivers. I think every one of them needs to have this installed if they don't have one.
I completely agree. It helps on highways and in parking lots, like you said, city traffic, everywhere.
Right. So let's just talk about if the weather isn't very good and it's raining, it's going to work the same way, isn't it? It's not impaired by any weather conditions, is it?
Correct, and that's the advantage of using a radar-based system versus a camera-based system. The radar, much like in airplanes, can read through all weather conditions, whether it's fog, rain, snow, which you don't have much of in South Florida, day, nighttime driving. It can really assist anytime and read through those weather conditions. Many times on a camera-based system, the camera can only see what the eye can see, and a radar can see through all those things as well.
Yeah, I see. I don't have a camera system. I don't even know. You mean all the new cars have that now?
Most systems out there are camera-based systems.
Where does it show? If you have a camera base, where is it going to show? In your rear view mirror?
The user wouldn't know. The user wouldn't know what type of system they have.
Right, but it's not.
But for us doing the as an aftermarket product, we want to make sure that people get the same quality, if not better, than what they can get from the manufacturer.
Exactly. Well, let's talk a little bit about this. So, what does this look like when it's installed? Is it small? Is it large? I have no idea what it's like. And how do you do it?
The system has a few components to it. We send out a certified installer out to the client's home to set it up in their vehicle. So the car doesn't have to be taken in especially to get this done. What the installer does is put the radar underneath the bumper of the vehicle so it's not visible. They also install a speaker under the dashboard of the car, so that's also not visible. There's a dashboard display that goes right on the dashboard, and I'll talk about the alerts that the dashboard display will show in just 1 second. And the last part of the system is the lane departure camera, which goes behind the rear view mirror. The audio alert comes through the speaker that's hidden underneath the dashboard, and the dashboard display goes from green to orange to red as you start approaching the vehicle in front of you too quickly. So the driver gets both the audio beeping sound and the visual alert on the dashboard.
That's amazing. Who invented this?
We have engineers that are that help in the manufacturing, in the design and the manufacturing, and we manufacture our own product.
That's great. Thank goodness. And Is this the only product that you sell?
Right now, this is the product that we're concentrating on. We have other products that we're planning on launching probably within the next 12 to 18 months. All of them are designed to help. They're all safety products for the vehicle.
Well, the one thing that I see, and this has happened to me, I was coming off, coming off I-95, and the person in front of me I thought was just going to keep going, and they kind of stopped, and I had an alert. If I had not had that, I would have had a rear ender.
Absolutely. And I commute to work every day, and the things that I see people do in their vehicle beyond the texting and the talking on the phone and checking their emails and doing makeup and eating and drinking and even daydreaming. Daydreaming is actually the number one cause of distracted driving. And technology advances in our lives are so it's going such a fast pace. You know, driving has become secondary to getting from point A to point B because we try to accomplish so much in between. So we're not really concentrating on the actual driving. And that split moment can make the difference between getting into an accident or being safe on the road. And that's why the system is so wonderful, because it gives the driver that extra time to respond, the alert that something's about to happen, and that extra time to react.
You are so smart. I mean, I was thinking as you were talking, Rona, that if I don't concentrate, and I don't text, sometimes I use the phone, I try not to, but you know, if someone's in my car talking to me, I miss exits.
Absolutely. And then you have the parents to young children that have the kids in the back seat, or like you said, a passenger next to them, or even something comes on the radio, or even a thought in our head. All these are causes of distraction.
So yeah, in fact, daydreaming, that's a new one. How do you know what are they daydreaming about?
It's a good question. I know a lot of people can relate. Sometimes we drive somewhere and we drive it in a routine. For example, if I drive to the grocery store and I get to the grocery store and I think, oh, I know that I just passed the stop sign. Did I stop at that stop sign? Or was that light green? You know, we get so consumed in our thoughts.
Right.
You know, that can be anything, whether, hey, did I answer the email that I received, or did I call my mom back, or, you know, I have to do this, or what am I going to make for dinner? And all these things that are routine thoughts that we have in our head that are causing a big distraction while we drive.
You are so right. You're just like you're in my head. But Rona, this is wonderful. Rona is the CEO of Safe Drive Systems, and they are the leading developer and distributor of advanced active auto safety technology. Let me give you a phone number. Remember, this is Pencil Talk Radio. So get your pencil out, write this number down, and I'll give you their website. This is one of the musts on your list. I really believe in this system. It's 800-825-2032. Again, I'll repeat that, 1-800-825-2032. Or you can go and you can see everything online. It's a wonderful demonstration, so you'll appreciate what we're talking about. It's safedrivesystems.com. safedrivesystems.com. I'm looking at an ad that they've done, and I am seeing one thing that I think is the biggest problem. When you're in a lane, and even though you think you've looked to see no one's coming, there's a car there. When you change lanes?
Correct.
And so that's a big thing.
And sometimes our perception of whether we are in the lane can also be incorrect. When I had the system first installed, I had been driving for many, many years. And then I found out that I always have the tendency to sway to the right side of the lane, which is a very serious serious offense to make while driving.
And so now with your Safe Drive system, you know where you are and what you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. I get both a visual and an audio alert if I stray from the lane, either to the right or to the left. And the system also warns if you're veering to the right or to the left, so the driver can correct themselves. Because, for example, if you're driving very late at night and it's foggy and our eyes can't see the markings on the pavement, the system is going to be able to see that for us and correct our driving.
I think that's just as... So what have you found from drivers that have Safe Drive systems installed? Do they tell you how much they love it?
We get calls all the time thanking us for people saying, I almost got into an accident. This almost happened to me. I'm glad I had this. It saved my life. It saved me from an injury. I'm happy I don't have to go through the repercussions of being in an accident and so forth. And those are such wonderful calls to get into our office every single day.
Yeah. Are you finding that more people over 50 are buying these, or is it just pretty much anyone who wants to be safe in their car?
I think people over 50 they understand that they need this type of system to help them in the driving. As people reach that age, they understand that their motor skills are not what they used to be. They don't see as well. They don't hear as well. At the same time, they're still very young, and they want to maintain the independence. I wouldn't want to call, on my kids to drive me places and take me places because I lost my independence. So people at that age have it installed to feel safer in their vehicle and give them that extra set of eyes on the road.
That's excellent. And I haven't really heard about an outside system before until I met up with your company. I mean, I just thought some cars, I guess it was the more high-end cars, had this. And I did have someone in my car who said, oh, how do you get that? And this is years ago. And I said, I don't know. It came with the car. Oh, I wish I could have something like that. Of course, now they can, right?
And now everybody can, absolutely.
So how long does it take? So if someone makes that phone call to you, who actually, where's your home? Is your home base in New York?
Our offices are located in New York, and we have installation teams throughout the country.
Mm.
So anybody who wants to have this installed can call in to us. We'll get their information and send an installer out to the client's home to do the installation right in their driveway or in their garage or right out on the street and put that in for them.
How long does that take?
It takes approximately 2 hours to put the system in and then take the person out on a test drive, show them what everything means, all the different types of beepings and the displays, and walk the person through the system.
Oh, I see. So once it's installed, then someone drives with them so they can show what it does?
Exactly. Just to make sure that the driver understands the different types of sounds and the visual alerts that they're going to get.
Okay, now this is the big question here in South Florida, where the weather is beautiful. Bikes, big problem with bikers. I don't mean motorcycles. I mean people riding their bikes, and they seem to come from nowhere. Is this going to help people?
We have the same problem in New York City, and absolutely, the system reads metal to metal, meaning the system can detect anything from a car to a bicycle to a motorcycle to a truck to a bus, any vehicle. That's
really important because I've come from some close calls. It's not even my fault, but because I stop at a stop sign and this is like they're coming through and I want to go forward and all of a sudden from nowhere they come. Now, it's interesting that you mentioned this. I don't think that that this is made for bikes, but wouldn't it be nice if there was something like that?
Absolutely, I completely.
That might be your next invention.
It may be.
Because they don't stand a chance, unfortunately, and same thing with the even motorcycles and all that. And it's a great invention. I just think that soon no one should ever ride in a car that doesn't have this alert system, and I think that's what you're doing, especially for the older cars. We see down here we do have a lot of older drivers with older cars, and they don't have this protection. Will you tell us, our listeners, approximately what this costs?
About what?
About approximately how much would this cost them to have this done?
Depending on the type of system, we have different types of systems that we offer. It ranges about $1,100 to $1,800, and it can be financed for as little as $29.95 per month.
That's
for 36 months.
Great. Can save a life, right?
Absolutely. I ask you, is your life worth $1 a day?
Right, $1 a day. And do you think insurance companies, if they knew your car had this, would reduce your payment?
It's a great question. Right now, the insurance companies in the U.S. are testing this type of technology, and not just safe drive technology, but even the ones that are coming from the car manufacturers. So even though they offer discounts to people who have seat belts and airbags installed in their vehicle, they're not yet offering discounts to people that have this type of safety feature installed on their vehicle. But I think in the relatively quickly they will start offering a discount. But indirectly, it does affect insurance, because many of the insurance companies today are offering discounts on premiums to people that have good driving records over 12 months or 18 months, and the system is certainly going to make a better driver. So indirectly, their insurance premiums are going to go down.
That's a good point. Yes, that's excellent. We don't want to, especially an older driver, if they have accidents, they're going to lose their license. This is a very important point, I think, that we bring up today. Many of them are in their 80s, and they're good drivers, but maybe not even their own fault. Some driver does something crazy, and of course, once they see that there's an 85-year-old driver, they could have their license taken away.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, most accidents, it's actually proven that in most accidents, people don't even hit the brakes when they're getting into car accidents. And the reason for that is because, A, they didn't notice that something's about to happen, or B, they didn't have enough time to react. And those are the two things that the system does for you. It alerts you that something's about to happen, and it gives enough time to react. Whereas 90% of accidents can be avoided with a 1.5 second warning. And the system gives an average of 3 to 5 seconds.
Amazing. What does it sound like?
It gives double that time.
What does
it sound
like? Yeah, I don't expect you to make the noise yourself. But
it's a beeping noise. And the closer you get to the vehicle in front of you, the faster the beeping is going to sound.
Yeah, that's what mine does. That's just
so there's different types of alerts. There's the alert that says you need to slow down because you're not in safe distance from the vehicle in front of you, and then there's a type of beeping that tells you you need to hit the brakes now. You're about to get into an accident in 3 to 5 seconds.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So what I like about it, though, is that you don't have to take your car anywhere. They come to you, number one, right?
Yes.
And number two, they will make sure that they drive around with you, and so you know exactly what's going to happen. And you said that, where do you place this system? Where it goes underneath your front bumper? Where was that?
Yep, the radar goes behind the bumper. There's a camera that goes behind the rear view mirror. There's a speaker that's hidden in the vehicle, and then there's the dashboard display. So my husband has an older Camry,
And so you're saying where's it going to be? It'll be on his dashboard, actually?
Yes, it's on the dashboard. It's a very small device, the dashboard display. It's about 3 inches by about 3/4 of an inch high, so it doesn't obstruct the driver's vision or view of the road, and it can be mounted anywhere on the dashboard, either to the right or to the left of the driver.
Okay, but you said something about a camera, so now he doesn't have a camera in his car. Is that one that it's going to be installed also in addition to this?
Yes, the camera watches the markings on the pavement, and so it knows if you're veering out of the lane for no reason.
Amazing.
And the camera is mounted behind the rearview mirror, so it's also not visible to the driver.
Well, this is a very, very interesting technology, I must say. And when the boomer market started to really go strong, a lot of products came on the online to try to help people as they were aging. And this was a marvelous thing. I think you should get an award for boomer technology.
Thank you.
Oh, really?
And absolutely, we want to help people remain independent for as long as possible. And in places much like Florida, you can't function without a vehicle.
Right. So if someone wants to see this before it's installed, would the person who comes over, how can they see this in a car without their having to actually go ahead and do it? Have you ever had that request?
They can go online on our website. There is a bunch of videos online that show how the system is installed. There's different situations that are shown. What happens when the vehicle in front of you stops all of a sudden, or if a car comes in front of you, or if a motorcycle cuts you off. All those situations that you can see online.
So a motorcycle cuts you off. Yeah, that happened to me too. It's, you don't want to hurt anybody in your car, but when you're going I-95, 70 miles an hour, and these people are coming at 90, it's pretty dangerous.
It is very dangerous. And a lot of them, when they're on a bicycle or a motorcycle, they come out of nowhere.
Yeah. And you don't really stand a chance. The other problem is in some areas, like when I'm driving down to Miami, things are moving so fast. Everybody's switching lanes, going fast. And I can manage because I have this alert system in my car, but I don't know how other people don't. And that's why I think I see they're moving towards me because I hear and I honk my horn, and they don't realize.
Absolutely. It's always good to have that extra set of eyes on the road that's going to help us drive and remain safer on the road.
Yeah, especially now we have so many SUVs with kids in them and grandparents, and just having this installed is the best thing for safety. I'm just thrilled that you have this company. It says drive safe with collision protection in any car. You can't go wrong with something like this because you just think about an accident. We asked about the price before, and you think about any little accident, it's $3,000, $4,000, and then your insurance goes up. And if this could prevent it, and it's a perfect opportunity to do something that's going to help you, and it's going to help actually yourself, your family, because you don't want to get hurt. And airbags. That's why airbags are in your car. That's for after the accident. This is like a before the accident airbag, right?
Absolutely. And you talk about the monetary costs, and I completely agree. And I can't think of a single person who's had a positive outcome of an accident. But there are also the non-monetary costs, the pain that we have to go through being injured in a car accident. And sometimes people can't go back to doing the things that they loved to do before because of those injuries.
Yeah, you're so right, Rona. Well, tell me just a little bit about you, because when we first started the show, I said, here's this woman, CEO of a company that I always think, and that's probably it's chauvinistic in a sense that it's a man's company. How did do you just like things like this? How did you get to do that?
I was actually overseas driving a rental car that had the system installed in it, and I thought it was such a wonderful technology, and I had reached out to the manufacturer and told them that we need every driver in the U.S. to have this installed in their vehicle. And we decided to launch our offices here in the U.S. and make it available to all drivers in the U.S. And for a long time, I really wanted to do something that was meaningful and save people's lives. And I feel that I connected with a wonderful company, like you said, has a great technology and a great product that really helps people avoid car accidents.
Yeah, it's a great. So it started in Europe, really. They're so smart over there. So, and then you convinced them to bring it here to the United States.
Yes, it was that simple.
And does every state? You don't have to have this approved by a state, do you? I mean, it's just something that's just accepted.
Yes, since it's an aftermarket product, and we don't tamper with the mechanics of the vehicle, we can install it. It's very, very simple. It doesn't void the warranty on the vehicle, which is also very important, and there's no need for state-by-state regulation for it.
Have you been working with any of the new car companies that might want to have an association with you? Ones that are not the luxury cars that don't do this?
We're concentrating on the end user and the actual consumer. Doing this as selling the product as an aftermarket product.
Well, I want to tell you something. My son sells Toyotas here in South Florida, and I am going to really pinpoint this. So after someone buys their car, he should push this. I'm going to tell him to do this. I don't think he has seen this, but trust me, I'm going to do that because I think it could really help a lot of his older buyers.
Absolutely. The older drivers,
right.
The new drivers, the seasoned drivers, any driver out there should have this type of system in their vehicle.
Right.
I think anybody nowadays won't drive without a seatbelt or won't get in a car that doesn't have airbags installed in it. For the same reason, people should not drive a vehicle that doesn't have a collision prevention technology in it.
Well, Rona, thank you very much. It's been a great interview. I want everyone to call 800-825-2032 or go to the website safedrivesystems.com. Thanks so much, Rona. It was a great interview.